This little piece of edge that she left out ain't do nothing. Anyways, guys, hello, Jules and Jems. I'm back with another video. This hopefully can be the finale of the story time about how I turned my club manager into my boyfriend, because I'm ready to get into some other juicier story times. Not all of them will be a story time series, but for the most part, they'll all be a series because my life is so crazy and I have so many things that I've always kept on the hush hush and I don't really speak about. I just do. That's just kind of my motto in life. I don't like to put people in my business. Even my really, really close friends, there's things that they don't know. Like this story, she knows, but the severity of it, like the details I've gone into, she probably don't know all of this stuff. Like every single last thing, she probably does not know. So let's jump right into the ending part. So I left you guys with a cliffhanger when I found out he was a... I don't think nobody guessed it. I really don't think nobody guessed it, right? I think one person said he was a married man, which was the closest. So let's just get into it. Okay, so this is where I told you guys, you know, all the positive, the juicy, the sexual things. I had to get all that out first. There will be no more of that sex talk, guys, because I got all of it out first. I know it may be confusing because the timeline itself probably isn't going to make sense, because some of the stuff that was happening in between this new storyline. So basically what happened was, after the hotel event, if you guys go back to my video that says he left me stranded, that video, I talk about the first time we ever like fully, you know, did it. So this is when things started to hit the fan after that occasion. Yes, we were still going out on dates. Yes, we were still talking very frequently before the whole incident happened. And I kind of started to find out some things because I was asking him, if you guys remember, he had told me he never came back to the room because his baby mama was calling saying, oh, where are you? Because you know I have to be working at 8 o'clock. You're supposed to get whatever her name is. We're going to call her Armani. You're supposed to come get Armani and you didn't come. And where are you? Da, da, da. Frantic, worried, stuff like that. So I was asking, well, why is she so mad that you didn't come? Like, there's times where you don't come home to like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning anyways. And if you saying like she works like 5 days a week, man, you together to like 6, 7 a.m. all the time. So like, why would it be any different? Because I mean, it was only 8 o'clock. And he was trying to, you know, trying to defend himself and trying to explain the situation, like, well, you know, baby, when she go to work, I have our money, and then when I go to work, you know, she has our money, so it's kind of like works hand in hand and stuff like that. And I just was like, okay, you know, I understand that. I've seen, you know, great co-parenting, or, you know, you got to pass the baby off so both of y'all can make y'all bread. Okay, I'm back. So basically what I was trying to say was, yeah, like, I seen great co-parenting, but the way, like, he was telling me, it just wasn't sitting well to me. So, you know, that wasn't to be like, oh, you're not supposed to be talking to your baby mama. It just was like, to me, it was awkward and weird-ish. So, I did me some digging and stuff with him. You know, I ain't go around, you know, asking people about him, but, you know, and he finally fessed up, like, he still lives with his baby mama. That's why she knew that he wasn't home. Like, my whole thing, I mean, that's how she knew he wasn't home and he wasn't there for her to just leave the baby. So that led me to believe that they were still, you know, screwing around, because I don't know about y'all. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I don't believe it's really easy for you to be with a person, especially if you have children with them, or if they're a long-term relationship ex, like y'all guys were together for a year plus. Anytime after a year is long-term. And then cohabitate without any feelings re-arising, or you guys, you know, horny nights or things like that end up happening. So he was trying to convince me like they were separated and and that's and that and all that, you know. But my whole thing was the what he was telling me. Okay, y'all is in the same bed. Cause you can't convince me nothing if I ain't seen it. And like I told you guys early on in the story, we never went to his place because he was really big on his daughter not meeting me until we were serious. And on top of that, we never went to my place because I stayed with my auntie and she was big on not, not having people over that didn't pay rent. Let me put it like right there. I'm getting hot, you guys. That little piece of edge is gone. So, and I respect his wishes because I understand. I've dealt with guys with kids, and I really, really, truly respect that statement because I don't want to be bouncing in and out of nobody's child life. I don't want you remembering me in 20 years from now. You like, I remember such. Nah, I don't need that. I don't need that on my conscience. Like, don't, allow me around them until you feel like you're ready or you feel like it's appropriate. But that kind of just resonated to me because it's like, okay, now it's like it's making sense because it wasn't even just the baby, it's because the baby mama / girlfriend. So the whole time you really technically been cheating with me and I ain't really realized it. But he kept trying to convince me at that time that they were not together. He kept saying, we're not together, babe. We're not. We falling on hard times. Me and her separated. We're just living there because, to raise our money. Like, what? Huh? We're just, living there to help raise our money together. She do her own thing. I do my own thing. If that was the case, then babe, all those long nights I've stayed with you, all those early mornings, that would have never happened. She would have, it would have been a problem at the house, seeing that I'm always with you. I'm always at the club. I'm always with you. Like, she would have been said something. It's so hard recording in the car in the neighborhood. That's why I normally be driving because you're not going to hear all this that's been going on. Girl, anyways. So basically, he was trying to really convince me like they were genuinely separated and stuff like that. But I had never seen the layout of the house. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 bedrooms. He could tell me it was 3 bedrooms. Really, it was just one. Like, you just never know the severity of the truth, especially with men, because if they want you and they want the other person, they'll lie. Because I've had dudes do it. My other Storytime series that's coming up, I was dating a married man. Girl, I'm going to tell you how this man lied to the end of the time. He lied to me every chance he got until I just told him, you know what, sweetie, I see through the BS. So with this whole story, this was the first time I ever dated a guy that was in a relationship. Well, we didn't date, but we was dating and I didn't know he was in a relationship. This was my first time ever being in that type of situation. So that's why in the story I told you guys, after he left me stranded, the relationship got distant because I'm not finna be with you knowing that you have an old lady at the house and you still with your baby moms. I'm not gonna do that to myself. I'm not gonna disrespect her. I don't know her like that for me to even be like, I'm gonna disrespect her. Like, no. Because if it was me, I want a woman to be woman enough to leave my man alone. Because when I find out, I'm cutting him first. And if I find out you knew, I'm cutting you second. Because, come on now, stop playing with my heart like that. So I cut him off. And that's why I told you guys, that's when I started to get more and more sugar daddies. Because I started to frequent customers that were actually like genuinely into me. Not just like on some sexual tip. So what was happening was I was going out on dates all the time. I was, dripping in diamonds, baby. That's when I was actually living a life. Girl, I had 3 sugar daddies at once. What? Girl, I was that baby. Like, and I'm not promoting that, but it just happened kind of like that. Like, 1, 2, and 3, boom, boom, boom. And if I wasn't with one, then I was texting the other. And if I wasn't texting the other, I was out on a trip with the other. Like, because I was trying to bounce back from the situation because I told you guys, we had became like, me and him was like this. Like, if we wasn't at the club together, we was on the phone together. We wasn't on the phone together, we was on a date together. Like, we was always going out. And that's one thing I also want to clear up because this man all in my mouth. That's another thing I want to clear, because people have the misconception, because I don't talk about it heavy, like I talk about the sexual parts and stuff like that. They think this man never treated me with respect. I literally went back and forth with a viewer, because she said, when did he ever treat you like a lady? Girl, he always treated me like a lady. What are you talking about? He had nothing but respect for me. Now, this part of the story makes it like he didn't have no respect for me because he played with my time. But at the same time, he always was looking out for me. He was always catering to my needs. Anything I wanted, he was giving it to me. I told you, this man had only knew me less than 24 hours, and he took me on a whole shopping spree for me to have all my stuff I needed for the strip club. Whenever something was going down at the club, he was defending me. Whenever people was trying me, he was defending me. When I almost got fired for fighting, he helped me not get fired. He helped me get the job. So my whole thing is, I don't want y'all ever to get it twisted, sweetie. I wasn't playing myself out for no penis. I wasn't being pimped out for no coochie. Like, I don't want y'all to sit here and think like that's what the situation was. It was not all sex. And to this day, it still isn't all sex. Like, we could sit on the phone for hours and not even talk about nothing sexual, or sit there and talk about everything. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think because the way I started the story time, because I felt like it was more prevalent for me to start with the juicy stuff, so y'all can get the happy stuff first, instead of me starting out negative and bashing him, because he's not a bad person at all. And just because a person cheat doesn't mean they full of shit. Just because they cheat doesn't mean they ain't you feel me? So, girl, anyways, I just had to put it out there, because I really went back and forth with this girl, because she was like, all you talk about is him having car sex with you, and y'all having sex in the club. When does he ever treat you like a lady and have sex in the bed? You don't have to, oh, girl, because a guy has sex with you in the bed does not mean he treats you like a lady. That does not mean that, sweetie. This sex does not define the way a man looks at you. It helps define, but that does not. Because if he's catering to my needs during the time of intimacy, if he's looking out to make sure I finish before he finishes, stuff like that, and then when it's done, he's not packing his stuff, hurry up, trying to leave, when he's spending quality time with you afterwards, when he's making sure you straight, even when it's not about none of that, that's what accumulates to him treating you like a lady. Because a guy can have sex with you every day in the bed. As soon as he done, he's packing his stuff, he leaving. He don't care if you didn't eat that day. He don't care if you broke. He don't care if you want your hair done. He don't care if your car got a flat. He don't care about none of that. He just care about meeting you in the bedroom. That's when you can say, he's not treating me like a lady. That's when you can say that. But girl, anyways, I had to get it out. I'm sorry, y'all. I do apologize. But, you know, I just came to find out that he was still dealing with her. So I started doing me. I gotta let you go, sweetie. We was in the club. I barely wanted to speak to him. I come in there, I wouldn't even speak. It was him. Hello, how you doing? Hello. And I'm like, hey, real still, real dry with him, hey. And he's a big jokester, so he's trying to joke around the club like, oh, somebody got an attitude today, like, trying not to make it seem like real obvious. And then he'll wait till, all the girls out the dressing room, he'll pull up on me, man, you better stop with that attitude you got. And I'm like, no, thank you. Like, who are you, dude? Like, no, I'm not finna start with no punk attitude. Like, no. And I still wouldn't speak to him. And I speak to his cousin all night long. And he hated that, because he's a jealous person. So he felt like I was trying to be funny, which I was. I even danced in front of his cousin. His cousin wasn't with the shits, because his cousin found out. And let me get into how he found it. I'm getting to the end of things, you guys. This is how his cousin found out. So
I forgot to mention, guys, one of the nights when I had stopped talking to him and I was really messing with one of my sugar daddies really heavy, he was blowing my phone up. And because I didn't answer, he came by the house. And because I didn't wake up, he had ended up going to the club and he got shitty drunk. And he was boo-hoo crying at the bar. He was literally boo-hoo crying at the bar. Ended up telling his cousin, like, what was going on, because he was like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like this not like you. And then that's how his cousin ended up finding out initially that me and him had something going on, because he didn't tell him. But when he had came to the club, he got really drunk, and then his cousin had to take him home because he was really, really toe up, and he normally doesn't drink like that.
This man he had got to the point where he would call and he'll text and stuff like that late at night, trying to see me after the club, and I wouldn't text, or I tell him, yeah, you can come, and I fall asleep and stuff like that. So one night he wanted to see me, and he was calling. I wasn't picking up none of the calls, and he said he left a message. He was like, when you wake up in the morning, I wanted to let you know I left some roses on your car. And then I went up to my car and I seen it was some yellow roses on the car. And then in the morning, he texted me. He was trying to make up in any way, shape, or form. And we were back cordial, but like, I don't think we was like, after I found out like he was living with his baby moms, it was never like it was again. Like I let the hurt go. Cause you gotta let that hurt go, sweetie. You have to let the hurt go. So I let the hurt go, and then I went on about my business. Like, I started back speaking to him and stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it did get back sexual. I'm trying to remember, you guys. It was a year ago. I don't remember, guys. I'm so sorry. Like, I think it did, but then again, because I don't know. I think he still had feelings for me. He still was like, he still got an attitude when dudes was all up on me in the club. He still was the same way he used to be. It's just that I didn't care no more. Like, I wasn't like, okay, I'm not going, or I was like, no. But like, I had a straight attitude every time he told me, why you all up on such and such? Boy, you ain't my man. Petty. So, that happened, and then this is the finale. I'm trying to remember, you guys. I'm so sorry. So once we had started getting real distance, I was messing with the first sugar daddy. He never found out about him. The second one is the second one or the third one. The second one is who he found out about. The second one, he put two and two together. He put two and two together because he used to come to the club and spend money on me. And it turned into an altercation with another person because she was trying to make him her regular. But what she messed up at is she didn't want to give him her phone number. And he was trying to, spend money on her outside of the club. And I had, I didn't know he was messing with her. And I walked up to him, was talking to him. I let him vent. I let him get everything off his chest. He really was feeling my vibe. That night he spent, I think, $100 or $200 on me. And he asked my number. I gave him my little flip phone number. Look at that sweat. Gave him my little flip phone number, baby. And we was talking. And he was taking me out. He was spending money on me all the time. He was taking me out to eat every single night. Shopping sprees in Orlando. Go back to that vlog. Orlando International. I ain't spend a dime. I didn't spend one dime. And he found out because of my last night in town before I went back to Miami. I told the dude, I said, it's my last night at the club. Come show some love. He came up there, he said, he got $200 in ones. And he said, it was a real slow night too. I had already made a little bit of money. But he was like, whenever you get on stage, I'ma show out. And baby, he was mad. He was mad because the whole night after he did come, I was caked up with him. But the whole time, I'm just sitting on his lap. With my feet kicked up across him. I'm sitting on his lap. He literally like dropping money on me while I'm just sitting. I ain't doing nothing. I'm literally just sitting there. And he's like, just dropping money. And I be like, stop. You making the girls in here jealous. Like, I was really like, stop for real. Because these girls in here petty. Like, they real petty. Because when they seen that, they started trying to come up there, hey, how you doing? Oh, my God. Like, you guys are so cute. And they was, like, trying to make conversation, girl. They was trying to be my friend. I'm like, no. We ain't gonna do that. I'm like, no, girl. Yeah. And I turned his face. Yeah, so what we was saying? No. All of it was coming up there that night. And he put it together because he's like, this is not the first time this dude been in here and he spent money on her without her doing nothing. So, girl, he put me to the side. He's like, what is going on? And I'm like, what you talking about? What's going on? He was like, you better not be fucking that nigga and da 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 da. He's just going off and stuff. And I'm just like in the back like, I'm just like, okay, thank you. And then the guy wanted us to go out to eat. But I didn't want to be there no more because, I mean, he wanted to leave. So I wanted to leave. I told him I'm finna go to the back, tell him I'm ready to go home, and then give me like 15, 20 minutes, and then you leave. Because if you leave first and then I leave, it's going to look like I'm leaving for you. So you got to let me leave first. So I'm going to get my stuff, and then I'm going to tell you when I'm about to drive off. So I told them, they told me, cool, you can go home. This is your last night anyways. Paid them my tip out. I'm going around making my rounds to pay tip out. I see the heifer that he was with, like originally was trying to talk to. He's sitting down, she all up in his face. So you just gonna spend money on her? I walk past her. So you just gonna spend money on her? And I'm just like, I looked at him. I said, the bouncer caught what was going on. So he stopped me when I was trying to. He said, "You about to leave with that dude?" And I told him no, and I walked out the club. Now, the dude eventually ended up leaving. I'm not going to go into details about that because that's a whole story time. That is a whole story time. He called me. He was like, you really just left. And then 5 minutes later, the other dude left. If you're doing what them other girls doing, that's so nasty. I never think you'll sell yourself like that. You'll sell your body. Like, I taught you how to make money inside the club. All you going home with dudes and stuff like that, man, that's played out here. He has so much to say. He was so in his feelings. I said, you don't even know what you're talking about. Click. And that was that. And that was the last time I talked to him that year. We recently had, got back cool. He told me he was trying to work on things, his baby mama now. So then I cut him off again. And I'm back home and we seen each other. It was sexual, child. I ain't even gonna front. I ain't even gonna flex on y'all. The last time we seen each other, it was sexual. But since then, since I've been home, that was the only time. Like, we only did it once and I cut that off. And now we just, we cool, whatever. He got my number again. But other than that, I'm currently dealing with someone, so I wouldn't be dabbling back with him again. And the fact that he's still, he's actually, the last time he told me they was working on things, and then this time when we spoke, he recently told me that they are now back in a relationship. So she can have you. She has a child with you. You guys are good together, and I'm done. So I have washed my hands with him. We're friends. If I go back to the club, he's my manager, and that's it. I will no longer be dealing with him in that form or fashion anymore until I want to, and the heifer's gone. Until the baby mama's gone. Other than that, you guys, I'm actually very happy with the person I'm talking to. I'm madly crazy about them. So you guys don't have to worry about me being in a toxic situation like that again. But other than that, guys, that's it. I don't know how long this is going to be, and I don't care because I want y'all to get the rest of the tea so I can move on to my new story times, because I have one coming up about I'm going to do this one because I already dibble into the story anyways. My next story time will be actually about how I almost got into a fight in the club. I've almost gotten into 2 fights in the club. Thank God I didn't. But, yeah. My next story time will actually be about that. First or second occasion. You guys, until next time, Jems. I think this is like 30 minutes. Bye, guys.